Hello, everybody. We're in the middle of discussing the laws of fear, to fear your father and mother. So we were talking yesterday that one is not permitted to mention his father's name. You cannot tell somebody my father's name is Avram, but you have to say my father's name is Reb Avram, or you have to add some kind of a title before your father's name. What about when you're davening, when you're praying? So we left off yesterday when you're davening to Hashem, let's say for refuah shalema for your father, it's not appropriate then to say Reb. If your father's name is, let's say, Abraham, don't say your father's name Reb Avraham ben Sarah in your prayer, because you're talking to Hashem. It's not appropriate to give honor to your father. When you're standing before a king, you don't honor anybody else. So when you're praying directly to Hashem, one does not say a title before his father's name, but he just says plain, Avraham ben Sarah, whatever his father's name is. What about when you're making a hashkava at a yahrzeit and you're mentioning your father's name? There, being that it's not a prayer directly to Hashem, there it is acceptable to add a title and appropriate to add a title to your father's name. What does one do if, let's say, his father's name is Avraham, for instance, and he names his own child Avraham, which people do. They name their child after their father, even b'chaye avav, even while their father is still alive. So now every time you call your son, you're saying your father's name. When grandson and grandfather have the same name, it becomes a problem. How does the son of Avraham, who also has a son Avraham, how does he do that? How does he call his son? So it's a problem. Either his father has to be mochel him, either his father has to forgive him, or he should call his son by a nickname, Avi or Vremele or whatever it is, some kind of a nickname he should give to his son. We also had mentioned the laws that a person is not permitted to sit in his father's place, special place. He's not permitted to stand in the special place that his father stands. He's not permitted to sit even in a different place, but if it's his father's special chair, one is not permitted. What about his father's bed? One is, again, same halacha. One is not permitted to sleep on his father's bed. You cannot sleep on your father's bed. Sitting on your father's bed is a question, but it's appropriate for one. It's appropriate for one to be strict with that halacha as well, and not to even sit on his father's bed. That's appropriate. The law, all these halachot about sitting in your father's place, or sleeping on your father's bed, or standing in your father's place, they are only relevant so long as your father is alive. After one's father passes away, these laws, we're not talking about the laws of mentioning your father's name. Even after your father passed away, you cannot mention his name. We're talking about the laws now of sitting in his chair, sitting in his place. Those laws, sleeping in his bed, those laws do not apply after the passing of your father. I know some people that sit in their father's chair after their father passed away, the same chair they sit in the shul and at home. That is permitted after the passing of the father, after the father dies, to sit in his place, to sleep in his bed, etc. Additionally, part of these laws would also be one is not permitted to go to a bathhouse together with his father, to go to the mikveh together with your father. It's inappropriate. You cannot see your father in the mikveh or in a bathhouse. That as well is asur. I'd like to wish everyone a great day. All the best.